The Prophet ﷺ said that when two non-mahrams are alone together, then shaitan is their third. Due to this, you have to be very careful when you're getting to know each other, that you're always in a halal environment. One of the things that are very important for you to discuss is your expectations for the marriage. What do you expect from your spouse? And what are you ready to give to your spouse? You need to make sure that you talk about that. Then another topic is kids. How many do you want? How are you going to discipline them? How do you want to educate them? If you don't discuss these issues, you might find yourself married and you have been thinking you want just 2 kids and the other person wants 10. Then polygamy is one of those contentious issues that you need to discuss before marriage. Perhaps one or both of you are thinking about polygamy in the future. Maybe you think that co-wives should live together in the same apartment or the same house and the other person doesn't. These are all things that you need to discuss. It is also important to update your knowledge about the rights and obligations of the husband and wife before you get married. You can do so by looking at the relevant Quranic verses or looking at hadiths or reading Islamic books such as Ideal Muslim Wife and Ideal Muslim Husband. Now, while you're going through this process of getting to know each other, you need to watch out for mood swings. Maybe you're talking with a person and they suddenly change their mood. They're happy and smiling 1 minute and you say one thing and suddenly they're frowning and they're angry. Or they get a phone call and all of a sudden they don't want to talk to you anymore. These are signs to watch out for and you need to address them as they happen. Now, one of the issues that causes a lot of problems in marriage and disagreements is money. So this is very important for you to discuss beforehand. How will you share your expenditure? In Islam, it's the responsibility of a man. However, the person you're going to marry might have some financial constraints, so you need to discuss how you're going to solve that issue, how you're going to divide the burden, and how you're going to take care of extras such as vacations. Now, it's not all about the serious stuff. You can also talk about the fun stuff, such as what are your hobbies? How do you like to spend your free time? What kind of dream home do you want to have? What kind of family do you want? And how do you want your family life to be? What kind of traditions do you want to build as a family? And what is your ideal marriage like? And then comment about your concerns. If you see a problem, don't keep quiet. Don't marry a potential. You know, sometimes we look at somebody and we think that we can change that person. Sometimes we can't. And then sometimes we blind ourselves and we think that this person is perfect and we don't realize that this person has faults. So don't do that. Look for those faults and address them at that time. Don't go for a person that's a work in progress. If you think that it's not going to work, there's no shame in saying, I'm so sorry, this is not going to work, and moving on. Don't think I can change them. Because like I mentioned earlier, how easy is it to change yourself? You know, when you want to start a new diet or you want to start exercising or even increasing your nafla prayers, you know, it's so difficult for you to do that even for a week or a month, and you want to change somebody else? And what if they don't change after the marriage? Are you going to force them to change? Or are you going to say, you know what, since you're not going to change, just go back home, you know, return to sender? And the funny thing is that most likely those things that you plan to change will actually get worse after marriage. Because when you're in that phase of getting to know each other and the engagement phase and all the love is all flowing around, we're always presenting our best selves to each other. So it's always best foot forward before marriage, and then after the marriage, it's back to old habits. So don't ignore those warning signs. I cannot stress it enough. If you see the person has a temper, they're reluctant to pray, they get moody, you have to address it at the time. Talk to the friends and family that are close to them and ask more about their personality and their character. And if you see issues, talk to your own family and friends and ask them for advice. How do I address this issue? What do I do when I see this person doing this or presenting this type of behavior? Remember that this is the rest of your life and your happiness and your children's lives that's at stake. Your whole family is at stake.